Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward.
What's up, guys? Altcoins Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so today I just wanted to review some altcoins that are very strong right now. I'll just briefly go into Bitcoin just because, Bitcoin will dictate the entire market. Right now, we are currently seeing some short-term relief for Bitcoin, and as you can see, many altcoins are performing pretty well. With that said, this is not any sort of alt season or anything like that. I do believe that in the short term we'll get some sort of lower high, at least to like maybe like 47 or something like that, 46k. That's kind of like the area to look at for right now. Do I think this is like the overall bottom? I don't know yet. One thing that is important to note is that bottoms usually take a long time to form, in the sense that usually price will come back near these levels. So as you can see back here, price came back close to that level again after it wicked down. Similar again for this bottom. Obviously, you had many opportunities to get filled on that bottom. And if you really just look at any really higher time frame bottom, you get plenty of opportunities to get filled. So if you think that price has left the station and the train has left the station and you will not get filled, I think I disagree with that, because I think that it's quite likely that price comes back to that level. What I'm looking for right now is a move up to like 47 or something like that, and then a return back to $40,000. I don't know again if this is the bottom or not. It's quite possible that 39.6k is the bottom, but if not, I'm eyeing, as I said before in previous videos, 37k. And if this happens, then altcoins will actually take quite a big dump overall, and we'll see some altcoin destruction. But overall, I don't know if this is the bottom. If price continues to hang around this area, then I think that the bottom is in. But if we see something like this, we go up to 47 or even higher, maybe like to 51, and then like start to dump, then we need some time to consolidate wherever the bottom is formed, because as I said before, bottoms take several days to form after this type of big price action where we see big market nukage. And yeah. Anyways, in the short term, altcoins should still do fine, but I would definitely start taking profit as Bitcoin approaches 47k. Let's look at some altcoins. Some altcoins are doing really very strongly. Here's Matic right now. Matic is a very strong coin, as I've said before. To me, this is still a bullish market structure, as you can see higher highs, higher lows all across the board. And it's still made this higher high, and this high broke the big highs back in May. To me, Matic still looks pretty decent overall. I think that a higher low was just formed. Now, it's important to note that these lows are not really super sustainable in terms of this overall price action. And what I mean by that is that you want to see longer time periods where the low is formed. So back in November, this was a very clear low, in my opinion, and it was a very good one to look at because it took a lot of time to form, all the way at the end of October and all the way to, so it consolidated for about 1 month. This, in my opinion, back in November was the last significant low because of the amount of time that it spent. When you see quick dips down like this, it means either that the coin is very super strong, which Matic is a strong coin, but I wouldn't necessarily say this is the best environment for when you want to buy these rapid dips. What's very scary with this type of price action is we call it stairs up, elevator down, where you see something like this, where there's not much time. There's not much consolidation on the way up, and therefore when the market starts to nuke, that's when it starts to really die down. Several reasons for that. I mean, this is kind of a slight example of that type of price action. Of course, this was the market top back in May, but if you want more sustainable price action for Matic, you'd want to see it just like kind of form a bottom, similar to what we saw back in November. But as of right now, the price action is still bullish. I am thinking this entire area is still resistance, but in my opinion, the next area up would be like the all-time high levels right around $3 or so, close to 3. But still a bullish structure printed. However, with that said, as I said, I'm a little cautious about this coin just because of these dips. They are being bought up, but I would like to see a little bit more time spent. Let's look at Luna. Luna looks pretty solid overall. So I did a fib of this recent move. And I was very wrong about the 0.5 and the 0.618 being support. And usually fibs are pretty good. They're pretty good tools that you can use. And as you can see, the 786 fib was this perfect top here, perfect bottom. But it's pretty clear too when you can see the reactions of some certain coins in terms of the fib levels. Now, this fibs are usually pretty good, as I said. They're good to use in confluence with other things such as support and resistance, EMAs, volume profile. Those are the main tools that I use personally. But you can generally see the reactions from the first tap if they are going to be good levels or not. Now, does that mean that you should it basically just means that you should not blindly use Fibonacci levels just because you want to use them in confluence with others. So this $76 area around the 0.5 was the first area that I was viewing. But to me, this was pretty clear that this was not going to be sustainable as a level to hold. And it's also very important to understand the market context as well. So when Bitcoin is dumping, then obviously altcoins generally are going to dump hard. They're going to dump harder, and on the flip side, they also will gain higher. They're higher beta coins. Excuse me. Okay, so as we see, the 618 level also did not hold, and the 786 was the level to check out, and this was the overall kind of short-term bottom. Generally, in this type of price action, you'll see some sort of lower high made. So my guess is like we'll see something like maybe as high as up to 90. I don't know where it's going to be, and then at that point, it's going to dip down. Because on the 4-hour market structure, to me, this is still a little bit of it's still bearish. Like you can see kind of these lower highs being printed and lower lows as well. Like we're seeing these like small lows being printed, and this to me is still bearish on the overall 4-hour time frame. So I am viewing just like a lower high. I don't know where it's going to be, 84 or something like that, or like 90, but I do believe that a lower high will come. So if you are in this, good time to take some profits even now and up to $90 in my opinion. And I do think that this will probably go lower in the short term personally. It's still a super strong coin, but the overall price action is a little bit confusing and unclear to me. Link was one of the strongest coins in general. I still think it's actually a pretty strong coin. If you look on the higher time frame charts, this $35 area was resistance overall, and I actually lost on my last trade there around late November, mid-November. I falsely believe that this was going to actually break. It was not. $35, as you can see, has been tapped several times, and it's been resistance every single time. But right now, there's a little bit of a different type of price action that we're seeing, in the sense that we're seeing lots of buy volume come in, which is very strong in this current environment. And we're seeing this 200-day EMA flipped support, the red line. Now, what can we see in the short term? Again, like lots and lots of volume, but like what you can see is that all these dips have been bought up, as you can see. And price is still kind of doing this grinding up price action. Similar to Luna, it's this type of price action is a little bit scary, but to me, it's still worth it to consider longing this one. Areas that I would consider longing, I would consider maybe like around $25. I mean, it already got tapped once, but like $23 is the 4-hour 200 EMA as well. So personally, I mean, like this is still not a bad area to consider buying around 25. Given the amount of volume still coming in, and given Link still looks pretty strong, I think this is a decent area to consider buying around 25. And it's also the 200-day EMA as well. Atom also looks very, very strong. This chart looks very similar to one Harmony, and let's that one we'll view in a little bit. As you can see, this overall resistance area from 38 to 45 is being tapped over and again, but I think it's only just a matter of time before this breaks. I mean, in general, when you see coins doing stuff like this, it's very strong in general, and you can see this resistance area being tapped over and over again, but the overall reactions from this resistance area are getting weaker and weaker. And what I mean by that is that price is not being rejected as hard every single time it taps it. So for instance, when it first tapped it, it went all the way back down to this $29 level here. And the second time that it tapped around this area, it rejected all the way back down to the $20 level. And once again, it's tapping it now, once again up to the $32 level. So to me, this shows that these sellers are getting tapped. They're starting to get filled, and they're mostly going. They're getting absorbed, and I think that like we might see another tap of it and maybe another rejection, but then I ultimately think that this breaks pretty soon. The overall chart just still looks really good to me. Especially, it's important to understand that these charts are doing very well in the current environment where altcoins, for the most part, are not doing super well because Bitcoin has pulled back, obviously. So when you start to see coins that are down, they're not down very much, or they're even up compared to their peers, then those are the altcoins that you really want to view. Let's look at one again, similar to the chart of Atom. This 32 cents area, 33 cents area has been tapped multiple times, but when you start to see these being tapped over and over and over again, and price is still just kind of hanging around, to me, this is bullish. Now, am I saying to buy right here? No, personally not. I mean, I think that maybe we'll see another rejection. You might, if you want to look for confirmation, you would look for confirmation for a daily close above this 33-cent area. And because as you can see, price wicked above it like many times, and it could never break above this area. But right now, we're still seeing like a potential close above. Now, it's a little bit confusing too because this other daily close right around 35 cents or so is right there, and this is also another significant area of resistance. But to me, I think it's better to visualize and think about this overall chart as just this entire area being resistance. I think it's just easier. There are going to be small levels if you look at this lower time frames around here on the blow off top around October 27th, where there will be like some resistance levels that you can't really see on the higher time frame charts. But it's better just to contextualize this entire area as resistance, in my opinion. And like certainly a break above all-time high levels, that's going to be like maybe the safest trade you can take. I know it sounds counterintuitive because you're buying higher, but when you buy the break of all-time high levels, it's nice because there's nothing but clear air above, and then you can just use Fibonacci extensions for your price targets. But I mean, if you were to, so for instance, if you were to buy now, then it's a little bit confusing because you don't really have clear targets, and the stop loss is also confusing as well. So it's probably better just to go ahead and look for entries for this one. Personally, what I would look for myself is I would just look to buy a dip around 28 cents or 28.5 or so. This to me would be kind of an interesting area to look at. And it's also the 200 EMA on the 4-hour around this area. So I would just try to stay patient and hope that price comes back down. And again, as prefaced with the initial Bitcoin price action, it's really going to depend on Bitcoin. So like, if Bitcoin takes a big old dump to like 27K, then this is going all the way down to like, who knows, like 26 or most like way lower than 26 likely. It's most likely going to go to like, I don't know, 22 cents or lower. Anyways, that would be my plan for one, just to go ahead and buy a dip and just wait, or just buy it above confirmation. Phantom, a very, very strong coin right now. As you can see, the 200-day EMA got tapped right here. Support looks good. And resistance area here at the top, around 315 or so. This is the resistance level. Again, similar to one Near, and Atom. These are all the very strong altcoins right now. They're all like, layer ones for the most part. I know people will say Atom is a layer 0. Yeah. But similar to those other coins, this coin is making its way up to some of this resistance area around 315. I do expect another rejection, maybe some sort of consolidation, and then a break. So again, similar to the last one, you can consider just buying a break of all-time highs, or you can just buy any sort of dip. Something like 240 or something like that would be an interesting area. But to me, this is still like a very, very strong coin. And it's also important to understand the fundamentals as well. Frogman, Danny, and Andre, I think, are like teaming up. So definitely look for this one. Near is my favorite coin right now, and this is the coin that I keep trying to buy and keep trying to buy dips, and it just keeps fucking me over because I can't get filled on Near, and it's like so frustrating. I had bids all the way from like 10 to like 13, but never really hit them. And that's okay. I mean, is what it is. I still have a decent position in it right now, but overall, I think that an aggressive entry would be around the low 17s, but I'm personally viewing around $16. It's the former kind of high area that we saw back in late December, and it's also an area of demand. I'll also say that I still have my lower entries, like from like 10 to 13 or whatever. I still have those in case Bitcoin does take a big dump, but for now, I am viewing kind of these levels here as a place to add on to my current position around 16, 17. Near, like people keep asking me am I so obsessed with Near? I'm obsessed with Near because I saw that this coin is very strong in an environment where every other altcoin was dumping. So like this was like up a significant amount of money, like I don't know, 10, 20% or whatever, in an environment where altcoins were mostly down like 10 to 20%. And when you see stuff like that, that means that these coins are very, 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 very fucking strong. So I prefer to take this method over buying the coins that have gotten totally demolished. I prefer buying coins that have super strength like this. And I am eyeing kind of this low mid $16 area as an entry. So that's kind of like my overall plan for Near. I am still in this and I hope to add. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.